Hi, hey, hello, welcome to this video. It's going to be me explaining my journaling ecosystem. I've collected everything that I write in on a either daily and or weekly basis. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really realize it was this many things. We're gonna start on this side just because I have them stacked on a ottoman next to me. First up, we have this little notebook I got when I ordered from the actual Hobonichi website I don't know, before everything went down in the world. And by the world, I mean my country. LOL. But not, because no, it's not funny. But this is a notebook that I got while I purchased it, because when you buy them from the actual store, you get the pen and you also get a notebook for your order. And I didn't know what to do with this for a long time, and then I realized, oh my gosh, it's the perfect thing that fits in my grocery store's like cell phone slot, or I assume it's a cell phone slot. But it fits perfectly, and I even draw a little line, can you see, right here, and that's where the bar comes. So this is all, and I put about 2 trips worth, so I already went. This is when I'm going next. And then down here is stuff like Costco, or if I need to buy something from like a tech store or something, or I have an idea, or I need something of like, oh snap, we need to get that online, it goes here. And this usually stays with me everywhere. The 5-year journal, I don't know really what this is called, but it's just a standard 5-year journal. I probably didn't really need to get the Hobonichi version, but it was there and I did it. So it's 25, 26, 27, 28, and 29. I got the smaller size. And I've honestly been keeping up. The first year, there are a couple times where I had big gaps and I had to try to backdate and try to really think and like scunge through stuff. But I keep up with this fairly as I open to 427 and it's 5/3. I keep up with this weekly because you'll see in my other journals, I write down everything I do in my Hobonichi Han. And so therefore I then on Mondays when I do all my admin stuff sit and then backdate all of these. And then there are pictures in here sometimes. Let me see if I can like find one. Oh, here. Ooh, let me cover that. But like here, if it was especially important to me or whatever, I'll put pictures and stuff in this little space. I honestly love it. I'm a very nostalgic person, so I love looking back, and it was so fun to see like, oh my god, my friend passed the bar, or oh my gosh, that's when I saw that movie. I was wondering when I saw that, and yada yada yada. It helps. It doesn't help anything. I just really enjoy it. So next we have my weeks. I just have this purpley magenta color. I use this particularly for my spends and no spends days. So if I spend anything more than $5, I count it as a day that I spent money. And if I didn't spend a single dime, I do not count things that are like auto charged. So my bills do not count. I like try real hard to get as much purple back to back to back to back. It also keeps me from, it has made me more, along with all the boycotts, it has made me a much more conscientious consumer. And then we'll do a random. Then here you can't really see because I use like lighter colored pens. But I essentially, this is my work and content planning weekly. I wish you could see. There you go. So I just put the videos I'm working on or want to film or whatever in like the stage that they're in. And then if I have any meetings or events that I need to also do, they go here. And then I also have like a podcast with my roommate. And so I'll also put the things that like, if we have to do pod or whatever, whatnot. So, and then the extra, ooh, you don't need to be there. Then in the back, I just have notes. So I just like was writing, like, I've only used like a couple pages here so far this year, because this is just like random notes. I think, I don't even know what I was adding up. Oh, like my bills and stuff. And then I have seen everyone not everyone, a few people make life magazines. And so that is a continuing project that I've been working on for a while now. I have this whole idea, and that'll probably be in another video because I am getting close to being finished with like the first one. I say as if I don't have like a whole page and a half. Well, actually, a whole page of spreads that I have to do. So, boo. But I'm working on it bit by bit, just for the gag of it all, you know? Next, we have my Hobonichi Han, the big one. I have trackers in here. On here, I also track 0 spending days, just so that I then have it all in one place. if for some reason I lose my weekly. I don't know why I felt that was necessary, but I did. I think it also because this has a much larger scope. If you've seen, I think my, like another planner video, I've probably explained it, but I have like, when I'm not home, if I've moved my body in any capacity, reading, if I posted a YouTube video, if there was an event, and if I spent 0, and then also therapy, because I realized I was canceling a lot. So we've got that. The months are just the months. Nothing fancy there. And this is what when I'm saying that I only update my 5-year once a week, it's because literally this is what my weeks and my Han looks like. So I just go through everything, even if it sounds stupid. And I don't know why I started doing this. Oh, I think it's because like someone got really sentimental about seeing like their grandpas just like daily, like, go to the dentist. I went to the grocery store, and it was like, oh my gosh, or like a really old journal, and they were like, we've always been the same, and it's like, yeah, a little bit, but I don't know why, it made me sappy, so therefore I do that now, and I do that literally for every single week. It also, I have realized, has helped me remember my days more as someone who is unemployed, and or I imagine someone who would be employed and would just be going through the grind of it all. It has really helped me with my recall of like, oh yeah, no, that was Saturday. Oh yeah, no, I did that Thursday. Oh yeah, 2 weeks ago. It's really helped cement it in my brain, and also my recall. Like if I don't fill this out for 2 or 3 days, I used to have to like go back and try to like search through text messages and Instagram and something to see what I was doing. And now I'll sit here and if I give it a second, my brain will be like, oh, you did this and then this and then this. And so it's really helped with recall, because if there's one thing I fear, is actual brain rot. I want to keep this bad boy as strong as it can get. You know, we're working on different techniques, different things. And then of course, you just have the dailies, which depending on my mood, sometimes it's headlines that are happening in the world. It's a to-do list. It's a poem from TikTok. It's a fun little event like Hudson on Jimmy Fallon. It's a birthday celebration. It's kind of like whatever. Doodles. So that's how I use this. Usually every Monday I do have like a whole admin day. You know how a planner works. So that's, well, I guess that's not all. The back of here, a lot of Hudson Williams. Sorry. I have like my side quests. I have, on here, I was hopeful that I'd be able to travel. And right now I just have all the times that I've been to Austin and Dallas this year. I have my rejection side quest because there's not a lot. But we're trying to just ask why not and see what happens. I have coffee shops, new coffee shops that I've been to this year. New to me. And then the location, if it's in Dallas, if it's in Austin, if it's somewhere else, Boston, New York, whatever. The best of days. And then I also keep a list of my books here. Because I was like, you know, sometimes I want to recommend people stuff and I don't have as soon to see my book journal. So I'm like, it's nice to have this because I more often than not have this with me than I do have my book journal. Next, we just have a standard Leuchtturm. It's dot grid, and this is my personal journal. This is all my feelings, my sadness, my happiness, my anything goes in here. There's nothing fancy about it. I just have these stickers that say no thanks. And yeah, I started this one Thursday, November 7th, 2024. And currently the last entry is April 7th, 2026. I'm not a big journaler. These typically last me a year to 2 years, depending on how rough or how good the year was, because I realize that I'm only journaling when I'm sad and distraught. And there is something about Hudson Williams made a comment, which this is probably not original. It's not his original thought, but I guess he was reading Joan Didion. I think he said like his favorite writer, don't quote me. But that like she writes to come back to herself, and so therefore he right now with everything that's happening in his life is like writing, one, I'm sure, to make a film of it all, but two, probably to ground himself, I would hope. But you know, how grounded can you be when so many people have eyes on you? Anyways, you know, said those things, and it somehow clicked in my brain that I was like, oh, I should also be recording like the good times and like the okay times, because a lot of my journals are just like times where I'm feeling lost and devastated as a way to get the emotion out. And then I'm like, when I look back, I can just see how desperately sad I was. And I was like, oh, but there are times where I'm just like genuinely grateful despite the timeline I'm living and the state I'm living in, that like I'm happy to be alive. And I'm glad I'm here and I'm glad I get to experience this or that. Or just a moment of like, wow, like the world is burning, but I'm here kind of thing. And so I'm trying to make a more conscious practice to just journal when things are just like okay and like great at the same time. This one is my book journal. It has, I think, yeah, it has 2025 and 2026 in it. Boom. So this is, I think, my second book journal. I have another one and it has 2021, 2, 3, and 4. So I tend to be able to collect several years worth in one journal. And that's because I don't really do much. Like at the front, we have my fanfics that I've read. I typically have goals. I have this little graph, which just keeps tracks of the number of books I read. What that is in audiobooks. So essentially, roughly the amount of time it would take me to dedicate to those books if I read them at 1 time speed. Obviously, most of this should be halved because I read everything at 2 times speed. But the star rating, the star average, if I owned them and or if I got them from the library, and the diversity, the number of pages read. Typically, this is where I put my new releases. I had like a TBR tracker, mid-year freakout tag, which series I finished, what I DNF'd. And then I just, in 2025, I was printing out little pictures. And then I started to stop doing that because I was like, I don't have time. Nobody cares. It's my journal. So then I just started writing the names. And so in 2026, it's relatively the same. 2026. Here are the goals. The graph I just explained to you. The mid-year freakout tag, where I drop the new releases. And then the months aren't even getting colorful anymore. I was practicing my my hand lettering and typography. Nope, not anymore. I said, fuck it. Like January, I said these are a bunch of rereads and I've got nothing else to say. So I really, here, it's just for the practice of writing my thoughts down. Because if I'm honest, I won't remember a single thing that has happened in a book if I don't at least make an attempt to write a small note about it. Other than that, everything falls out of my brain. But yeah. So right now, that is what I'm using for my book journal. Nothing really fancy. It's just another Leuchtturm. It's also, is this dotted? Yes. And I use Leuchtturms because I was a big bullet journaler in 2026 to about 2028, 2029. I have so many journals where I set up the whole spread, all of it. And then, I don't know what happened. I switched to a Muji planner for like 2 or 3 years because I got tired of it. And so I went from doing my own bullet journal to the Mujis to the Hobonichis. And honestly, sorry about that. There was a bug. I had to get it. I had to take a picture of it just in case to see if I needed to call the exterminator, if I should just like, let things live their lives. Anyways, we just finished with my book planner. Now we're on to, this is essentially kind of repetitive, but it's my content planner. So this is where I write down like ideas or brainstorm or like figure out a schedule or thoughts, or also all the notes and the setup for making a video. So if I want to do like an anticipated release video, then I'm writing down, I'm searching through all the websites, writing down the anticipated releases, I'm writing the dates, and then I'm reorganizing it, whatnot. All of that to say, it sounds like it probably would be easier on a digital platform. And no, I am a paper girl through and through. I've never been convinced that digital is better. It just doesn't work for me. I'm very much a paper girly. So I remember, because I was like, I feel like most of my formative years, there wasn't any way to have digital. Because I was like, I went to high school 04 to 08. And I didn't really need, I had like, we got paper calendars for lunch. And then the paper calendar for the tennis schedule and the soccer schedule. And that's how I lived my life. Was a paper calendar. And then I went to college 08 to 12. And I would buy a giant desk, like from Home Depot, Office Depot. the desk calendars, and I would write during syllabi week every single thing that was due and when it was due, and like that's how I would operate. And I even did that into grad school, which was 14 to 16, and I think that's when the digital calendars really started coming up. And you can never convince me, because as soon as I left grad school and graduated, I immediately started bullet journaling. So it's just when things are on digital, it escapes my mind, and I only use a digital calendar because it helps share the calendar with multiple people, and your appointments and stuff will send you a link. And so I only am using one because the rest of the world has decided that they're going to use one. But yeah, I just have thoughts, whatever, scribble down anything, and it's just graph paper. And this one, it's a standard Cosmo composite. I just get these when school supplies go on sale. Last, but certainly not least, is just I repurposed. This was my LOL. This was my work notebook once my contract came to an end, and then here we are. So I've turned it into my morning pages. So I wake up. I hate morning pages with everything in my whole heart. Look at me. I only do them because they genuinely clear the fuzz from the brain. I hate these. Every time I do these, I wake up and I go, I fucking hate these. And I start with, here I am again. I hate every actual fucking moment of this. I can't believe I have to do this. And I just right, because you have to do the 3 pages of conscious thought, and we're just going and we're going and we're going. And then by the end, typically I want to write another page or two, but I'm so blah that I'm like, thank God we're done. See you tomorrow. Click. However, it really does clear the brain space. Clear the gunk out, because I really will just sometimes write I hate this, 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 I hate this. And did I ever read The Artist's Way? No. Have I heard? But do I still do morning pages? Yes. So I'm using this until it's all gone, and then I have backups to keep going. There's nothing fancy about that. It's just 3 pages. And that, gentle folks, is my journaling ecosystem. That's bananas, because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 items that I write in regularly. Banana beans. Well, I hope you enjoyed. And if you didn't, well, live your best life. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.